Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Just woke up my cat. He was sound asleep. Heard my voice, jumped up, scared the heck out of him. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And we're here ready. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for watching our shows while you were with your families. The Grunion story was a huge hit. Everybody loved that. Thank you very much. Those of you that hadn't heard it before. And if you still haven't heard it, go look back at a Thursday Thanksgiving show and check out the Grunion story. It's pretty spectacular. All right, gang, we're going to get going in just a second here. It's Baja Jerky. It's Baja Jerky Monday. We always talk about Baja Jerky on Mondays, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Two more things I need to talk about. Gang, you got 2 more days left, and then the holiday special's going to go up. The $200 is going to go to $300 December 1st. So you got a couple more days, and then it's going to cost you another $100. You're going to buy it anyway. What are you waiting for? Get the holiday special, all the bundles, a 1-year subscription. It's a $565. $565 is what it will cost you after December 31st. Right now, it'll cost you $200. In 2 days, it's going to cost you $300. I don't know. I can't make it any more offering. You got to check it out. You got to go to Your Saltwater Guide. Better than that, just call me, 949-374-0786, and let me know you want in on that holiday special. If you got a friend or a buddy or somebody you know who has a boat, I'm telling you, it will only help them. And I don't care what level they're at. Somebody has to get information from somewhere. Might as well get it from someone with 3,700 other friends out there fishing every single day. All right, so check out Your Saltwater Guide. If you're thinking about getting that holiday special, give me a call, 949-374-0786. Don't forget Baja Jerky. We got the dried mangoes, and we got the sweet orange. Those are my 2 favorites. It's the mango's taken over, though. I can't quit eating this stuff. It's insane. And you know who else loves it is Marley, my monkey. He loves this dried mango. It's insane. Go to BajaJerky.com. Put in the code YSWG and the number 30. You're going to save 30% on your Baja Jerky. Get it delivered straight to your house. Great deal. Go to BajaJerky.com. You'll see all the different flavors. They got a flavor for you, and you want to have them. You want to have them on your boat. You want to have them in your tackle box. You want to have them in your storage area on your boat because you want that protein, because now you're a member of my website and you no longer suck at fishing, and now you're going to need some protein. But gang, let's go. We're going to get going here on our seminar today. We're talking about the fine art of filleting. So just hang in there for a few minutes and let me give you some background on why you might want to listen to me. You don't have to, but gang, I started fishing for a living back in the 70s, and I would say from June until probably, until probably October, the middle of October, we would catch on an average of 300 fish to take home. And many days we catch 700 or 800 fish to take home on a half-day trip. And all those fish needed to get filleted. And myself and whoever the other deckhand was on the boat, we would have to fillet all those fish in an hour or less on the ride back to the harbor. Sometimes we'd set out in front of the harbor for a little while filleting those fish. But normally we were running double half days. So we ran 6 o'clock or 6:30 in the morning, got in at 11:30, and then went back out again at noon and got back in at 4:30, and then went back out twilight fishing. So a lot of times you had to fillet all those fish within an hour and a half max. And you'd have 60 people on the boat, and they all had a limit of sand bass. And back then you were allowed 10. And then they'd probably have a handful of barracuda, a handful of bonita, maybe a couple of yellowtail, something like that. And if the boat caught limits for the morning trip, and it happened all the time, that was 600 sand bass. It happened all the time when I was growing up. all the time. And we had to fillet all those fish as little kids, as pinheads, as deckhands. And then as I moved up the ranks to first deck, and the cook would have to come out and help, and everybody be involved in the act of filleting because you had to do it in an hour or less. So I had to learn the hard way on the passengers' fish, but I'll tell you what, we got proficient at it. Then I went to work for a guy named Mike Thompson, and we used to fish rock cod on the weekends at the Cortez or the Tanner Bank. And we'd carry 20 people, and each person could have 30 rock cod. And they were all giants, 5-pound, 10-pound, a lot of 20-pound cow cod. And you'd have to fillet those suckers all night long. We would fillet from 3:30 in the afternoon until the sun would come up the next morning. Me and my buddy Spider, or me and my buddy Big Dave, or me and my buddy Tom Shanahan, or Todd Manzer. There was many of us that filleted on that fillet board for all hours of the night. And then we have to put all those fish on ice. So I'm just trying to give you a background on why you might want to. I probably filleted more fish in one day than most of you have seen your whole life. And I'm not bragging. I'm just telling you, it's the honest to God truth. Now, I know a lot of you in Florida catch way more fish than I ever thought of, and I understand that. I'm just talking, all I got is my own experience. So that all started back in the 70s, and I still fillet fish to this day, and I'm 61 years old. So I have a half a clue of how to fillet a fish, and I made you plenty of videos on how. But the big thing I get asked, when I ask for people to, hey, Dave, this is what I want you to talk about. A lot of the people suggested, hey, can you teach us how to fillet? Gang, there is no easy way to learn how to fillet fish. The way that I would suggest, there is no other way. You have to do it. It's hands-on. You have to do it. I can take your hand and hold it with you and cut through the fish and let you feel it, but that's not going to do it. You're going to have to go out. If you're on your own private boat, you're going to have to go out. And this is what I would suggest you all do, is go get those greenback mackerel that bite all the time that you use for bait. Bag those things up. Get 20 or 30 of them at a time. Sit on your fillet board and learn how to fillet those. There is no other way to learn how to fillet. There is not. You have to do it hands-on. You have to learn how to fillet by actually filleting. I can't tell you the super secret way to do it. There is no super secret way, believe me. I destroyed a phenomenal amount of passengers' fish back in the day. I destroyed a phenomenal amount. You can only imagine what it's like to try to fillet 700 or 800 fish in an hour with two guys, with all the people standing there and the boat rocking and rolling. And back in those days, we used to partake in adult beverages while we were filleting. So, yeah, I can't tell you there's a super secret way. All I can tell you is if you take those greenback mackerel and you keep them nice and cooled down, that will save you a lot of brain. If you're trying to fillet greenback mackerel and they're mushy, you're not going to pull it off. You're just not going to be able to do it. You've got to make sure that they're soft, that they've been iced down and they're nice and firm, and then practice. You're going to screw it up. There's no way around it. Even Jim right here over on Instagram, you're going to screw it up. I don't care. That's the only way you can learn. Then start to slowly go into filleting the other type of fish. Now, I have 1 million videos on my website, yoursaltwaterguide.com, and on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube and Facebook on how to fillet these fish. And if you just go and you watch those, it'll give you a good type of an idea of what to do. But when you see how I do it, you're going to go, shit, it makes it look easy. Why do I make it look easy, gang? Because I've been doing it. Actually participate in the act of filleting since I was 14 years old, and I'm 61. And back in the day when I was cutting fish every single day, there wasn't anybody faster. I don't care. You could say you were faster. I'll still take all bets today because most of the people that work on sport boats today don't ever get to fillet very many fish anyway. So I'll take all bets. If you guys all want to pony up some money, I'll fly up to Southern California and have a fillet contest with some of your great pinheads or some of your great deckhands on your boats. Pony up some money. Let's do it. $1,000. There you go. I like that. Right on TikTok, guys. $1,000. I'm in. Let's go. I'll fly up Southern California for an easy $1,000. But I'm just trying to help you to learn how to fillet. There is no secret way. Your knife, yes, it has to be sharp. I know my knives aren't sharp. I already know that. I read that comment 8 million times. I know my knives suck, and I know that I don't know what I'm doing. I already know that, but I'm telling you how it would be easier for you. Make sure your knife is super sharp. There's a million videos on how to sharpen your knife, but make sure your knife is sharp. Make sure you're standing up so that the fillet table is level with you, about a little higher than your belly button. That'll give you the easiest way to fillet. Don't do it on your hands and knees like in all my videos. And don't do it on a dock, or don't do it on an ice chest, or don't do it in places where it's almost impossible. Stand up and try to do it. That's going to be the easiest way. And then understand you're going to fail miserably. What I would suggest is trying to do it without a bunch of people around. The last thing you want is other people trying to tell you how to do it, because they don't know how to do it either. And the last thing I would do when you're filleting is stand there and tell you, hey, you got to do this, you got to do. No, you've got to get that feel. You've got to get the feel of that knife sliding down the backbone of that fish. You have to get the feel. It's a feel. You're going to cut through the backbone a lot of times. You're just gonna. But what I would suggest is learning how to slab the mackerel out so that every time you cut down that spine and you come down to the end of the fish and it's a perfect fillet. Once you get that figured out, if you can skin a greenback mackerel, you can skin any fish in the ocean. Greenback mackerel skins like paper. So it's going to take a phenomenal amount of practice to get to the point where you can actually take the skin off the mackerel's fillet. But if you can do that, then you can fillet any fish in the ocean. Why do I say use the greenback mackerel? They're the most abundant fish out there, and most people don't enjoy eating them. I'm not saying they're good, they're bad. I am never going to be the person that's going to tell you what you like to eat. That's not me, and I prefer that people don't tell me what I like to eat. People go, oh, do you think you have enough fish? I've never had enough of anything, and I surely have never had enough fish. So don't worry about how many fish I'm taking, because you have no idea how hungry I am. And I'm going to eat fish for breakfast, fish for dinner, fish for lunch, and maybe a sensible fish snack in the middle of the day. But don't worry about. Yeah, and like one of the guys just said, you can use that mackerel for your lobster bait. But practice with the greenback mackerel. Practice till you have that flow, that feeling of sliding down that spine. It's going to take practice, and don't beat up on yourself. Like I tell the young guys when they come on the boat with me and they're all flustered because they can't cut like me. Take your time. I can't even imagine that you could walk up and start cut. I would feel horrible if you walked up and started cutting like me. I'd be like, I didn't learn a damn thing. Take your time and practice. We all did that at Dana Point Harbor. We would sit there on the back of the boats and fillet mackerel, try to get fast like our heroes like George Clough and Greg Cruz and some of the guys that I idolized and looked up to as I was a kid, and watching them fillet fish. And that would be it. I'd get some mackerel and I'd stand on the back deck. Or back in the old days, we used to catch a fish called a tomcod. And those were fun to try to fillet, because if you can fillet a tomcod or a mackerel, you can pretty much fillet any fish that swims. But it's all about practice. There is nobody that can show you how to fillet. If they tell you they can show you how to fillet, understand they're lying. And you need to move away from that person because they're lying to you. They might be selling some crypto stock too. And There you go. If they're telling you they can teach you how to fillet and they have some great crypto stock to invest in, it might be time to go the other way and get into an area where they're not at. Something I wanted to say something too. You know what really blows my mind is back when I was working on the boats in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and probably till the middle of the 90s. And I was talking to a couple of my captain buddies a couple of days ago. We didn't drink water. There was no water on the boats. There was no water in the faucet. You didn't take the water out of the holding tank on a sport boat and drink it. We didn't have any water. Think about that. That is so bizarre to me today to think about. And you talk to any of the old-time captains that you know and ask them, do you have any water? Nobody had water. There was no bottled water. There was no bottled water in till probably the mid-90s. The bottled water came out. We didn't have any water on the boats in the 80s. None. We have any water on the boats in the 70s. And I know they didn't have any water on. I talked to my good buddy, Steve Campbell, Captain America. He used to fish out at Midway Island and out in the middle of the Pacific for albacore for months at a time. Months. Never had a drop of water on the boat ever. That is really weird to me. And I think that's a phenomenal story to talk about as we move forward. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit more tomorrow, but no water. Massive headaches. We all used to get them. All the captains, all the deckhands. We used to get these massive headaches back in the day. We were flipping dehydrated. You're working out in the sun and the salt, and we never, ever, ever drank any water. Ever. There wasn't, not that we didn't want any water, we just didn't have any. There wasn't any water on the boat. You either drank a beer, you drank a soda, or you didn't drink nothing. There wasn't nothing else. I remember once in a while the cook or somebody would buy some Lipton iced tea in the can, and that was like as close as you would get to water. Pretty weird, right? That's pretty strange. I don't get it. Gang, I need you all to help me one more time. That video on how to tie the double uni, it's setting at 4,000 views. I need it to hit 10. 2 more days. I'm going to give away some more t-shirts. Go over there and grab that video on Facebook and share it. Whoever shares it the most times in the next, I'll give you guys till the 5th of December. Whoever shares it the most times between now and the 5th of December, you're going to win a t-shirt and a lifetime pass to my website. But you got to start sharing it. And believe me, there's going to be guys that share it every day. So try to share it as much as you possibly can. Share that video, how to tie the double uni. It's very easy to see. It's me sitting at a table with a microfiber towel laying on the table. It's a yellow towel, and I'm tying the double uni right over the towel. Share that. I need it to hit 10,000 views, and it's not getting there. You guys are all being lazy. Don't be lazy. Please go share that thing. Don't forget Baja Jerky. Go to BajaJerky.com. Enter the code YSWG and the number 30. Get out there. Practice your filleting. You got 2 more days to buy the holiday special, and then the price is going up. Give me a call, 949-374-0786. We got a great holiday special for you. I know you know someone who has a boat. I know there's plenty of people in your lives that are going, hey, what can I get you for Christmas? Get them a membership to your saltwater guide. They want to catch fish. You want to catch fish. You want them to catch fish so they can give you their extra fish. Kelly's going to do a drive-by. Oh, she's putting on her pants. Holy mackerel, gang. Okay, well, I'm going to go off the air here in a second, baby. So if you're going to say hi to everybody, you need to say hi. Here she comes, pulling up her pants.
Zipping my pants. Hi,
all right, there she is, the great Kelly girl.
Baja Jerky.
Hey, everybody, let her know tomorrow is Kelly's Corner Day. We need Kelly to be on the internet with us tomorrow. Let her know. All right, gang. Thank you very much for watching us today.
Bye.
See ya.